Jovi had only $30 to celebrate her twin's birthday. She counted her crumpled bills in the car. 27, 28, 30, she whispered. That was all the money she had for Luna and Sol's fourth birthday. Her car sat outside Brennan's Steakhouse, the same restaurant where she used to work. Inside, a man sat alone, a billionaire, a man she once loved, a man who left her and their children without a word. Caspian Thorne Valor. He didn't know she was outside. He had no idea that the woman he abandoned 3 years ago was now standing at the entrance with two children, his children. Jovi took a deep breath, lifted the twins out of their car seats, and held their hands. "Ready for a special dinner?" she asked, her voice shaking. "Yes! Fancy food," Saul said, bouncing with excitement. "Yes," Jovi smiled. She had planned everything carefully. They might not have a lot of money, but tonight her children would feel special. She would even skip eating herself so they could enjoy their birthday. What she didn't expect was the black Aston Martin parked nearby. License plate, Valor 1. Caspian was here, the same arrogant car, the same man who haunted her dreams. Jovi gripped the steering wheel. No matter what, she wouldn't run. Her children deserved this birthday dinner. Nothing, not even the ghost of their father, would ruin it. Inside, Caspian sat in his corner, the same table where he used to wait for Jovi's shift to end. He'd order expensive wine just to see her smile. Now, 3 years later, he came here almost every month, torturing himself with what-ifs. His phone buzzed. Serafina, his wife in name only, texting about another charity event, another photo opportunity, another reminder of a loveless marriage. He silenced it. Tonight felt different. The hostess approached him nervously. "Mr. Thorne, there's a family here requesting a table. A birthday celebration for twins." Twins. His glass of whiskey froze in his hand. That's when he saw her. Jovi walked in, carrying herself with the quiet strength that first stole his heart. But it wasn't just her. It was the two children beside her. A boy and a girl, 4 years old, with piercing blue eyes. His eyes. The whiskey glass slipped from his hand and shattered on the marble floor. Everyone in the restaurant stopped talking. But Caspian saw only them, the children he never knew existed. Jovi saw him too. Her face went pale. Her hand instinctively moved to shield the twins, but it was too late. The truth was right there, staring him in the face. He couldn't run. The glass shards glittered under the restaurant lights like fallen stars. Every head turned. Every eye watched. But Caspian saw only two pairs of blue eyes, his eyes, staring back at him. Luna and Sol clung to their mother's sides, confused. They were perfect. Luna had Jovi's delicate features and his stubborn chin. Sol had Jovi's warmth in his eyes and carried himself with Thorne confidence. His children. The children he walked away from without knowing they existed. Jovi whispered, trying to guide them to another table. "Come on, babies, let's find our table." But Caspian was already moving, crossing the restaurant without thinking. He stopped just a few feet away, close enough to see the fear in Jovi's eyes, the way her hands trembled. "Caspian," she whispered. Her voice sounded like it had been carrying years of pain. Luna peeked around her mother's legs. "Mommy, who is that man?" The question hung in the air, heavy and quiet. How do you explain to your children that this man was their father, the man who left before they were even born? Caspian crouched down to be at their level. His hands shook as he studied their faces. The curls in Luna's hair, the tilt of Sol's head, the warmth and courage in their eyes. "What are your names?" he asked softly. "I'm Luna," the little girl said proudly. "And I'm Sol," the boy added. "We are four today. Well, tomorrow, but Mommy said we could celebrate tonight." 4 years old. The math was simple, but it hurt like nothing else. "Happy birthday, Caspian," he managed, his voice rough with feelings he couldn't hide. That's when Saul stepped closer. He looked at Caspian's face with curiosity, like a little boy trying to solve a puzzle. "You have my eyes," he said clearly. The words hit Caspian like a punch. The restaurant went quiet. Servers pretended to be busy, but watched closely. Other diners craned their necks, sensing something big was happening. But Caspian could only see his son, his little boy looking at him with innocent curiosity, not knowing that his life was about to change. Jovi's control finally broke. Don't. The word came out sharp and protective. Don't you dare pretend to care now. She scooped up both children, one in each arm. They were big now, too heavy to carry like babies, but she needed them close. She needed to feel them safe against her chest. Mommy? Luna's voice was small and confused. We're leaving, Jovi said, not looking away from Caspian. But as she turned to go, Luna's tiny hand reached out toward him. Don't cry, mister, she said sweetly. Birthday days are supposed to be happy. That's when Caspian realized tears were streaming down his face. And as Jovi carried the children out as his chance to make things right walked away, Caspian Thorn Valor made a choice that would change everything. He wasn't letting them go again. Not this time. The hunt for his family had begun. Caspian stood in the restaurant parking lot, watching Jovi's taillights disappear into Charleston's warm night. His hands shook as he pulled out his phone. 3 rings for Corbin. I need everything you can find on Jovi Valor. Address, work, everything. His head of security didn't ask questions. 20 minutes. 20 minutes to figure out how to fix 4 years of mistakes. 20 minutes to plan the most important mission of his life, to win back his family. Jovi's apartment sat above Mrs. Chen's grocery store in downtown Charleston, in a part of the city people often forgot. Paint peeled from the walls like old secrets. The stairs creaked with every step. But it was home. They were home. She tucked Luna and Sol into the twin beds in their tiny bedroom. Her hands still shook from the restaurant encounter. Mommy, why did you cry at dinner? Sol asked, his little blue eyes too understanding for a 4-year-old. Sometimes grown-ups get sad about old memories, baby. Was that man in our old memories? Jovi's heart tightened. You're so smart. Too smart. Now close your eyes. We'll have your real birthday party tomorrow, okay? She kissed their foreheads and breathed in their sleepy warmth. In the living room, she collapsed on her second-hand couch and let herself cry. 4 years. 4 years of building walls around her heart. 4 years of telling herself she was better off without him. But one single look at his face when he saw the children, every defense crumbled. She saw something in his eyes she had never seen before. Regret. Caspian's penthouse overlooked Charleston Harbor. Floor-to-ceiling windows showed the city sparkling, but he didn't see the city. He only saw 2 pairs of blue eyes and Jovi's protective anger. Corbin arrived with a thin file. Too thin. She's invisible, Corbin said. Works at Morning Glory Cafe downtown, evening cleaning shifts at Riverside office. Lives above Chen's Market on East Bay. That's it? Caspian asked. Yes, the children, Luna and Sol Williams, go to Magnolia Elementary on scholarship. No father listed anywhere. Nothing. Every word felt like a knife. She never asked for money, never filed for support. She had disappeared completely after leaving Charleston 4 years ago. She returned 8 months ago when her mother got sick. Caspian's chest tightened. Her mother had cancer. She was in hospice care at St. Mary's. Christ! Jovi had handled everything alone, her mother's illness, raising twins, working multiple jobs, while he had been drowning in whiskey and regret. I want protection on them. Quiet, and I need to know everything about their routine, he said. Corbin hesitated. Dom, maybe you should think about this. She made it clear tonight. She's protecting them from you. Caspian stared out at the harbor. They're my children, Corbin. I won't leave them again, even if she hates me. Morning came too early for Jovi. Her alarm screamed at 5 a.m. She dragged herself to Morning Glory Cafe, leaving the twins with Mrs. Beatrice, a 60-year-old neighbor who watched them for free. The cafe was small and served expensive coffee to busy lawyers and bankers. Jovi worked the morning rush, invisible in her black apron and tired smile. That's where Caspian found her. He walked in at 7:30 a.m., looking like he owned the world in his dark suit. Conversations stopped, heads turned. Charleston's golden boy didn't usually visit a modest cafe. Jovi froze behind the counter. Her coworker Willa whispered, "Holy, is that Caspian Thorne? He's even prettier in person." Pretty, Jovi thought. If only she knew how ugly he could be when it mattered. Caspian walked carefully like she might run away. "Smart man," Jovi said. "We're closed. I need to talk to you," he said. "No, you need to leave." Other customers watched. Phones came out, Charleston Elite scandal unfolding in real time. Jovi's face burned with embarrassment. "Please, just 5 minutes," he begged. "You had your chance 4 years ago. You chose silence." She turned to leave, but he stopped her. "I know about your mother." Her blood turned to ice. She spun back, fury in her dark eyes. "Don't. You don't get to use her pain to manipulate me." "That's not what I'm doing. I want to help. Help." She laughed, but there was no humor in it. "Where was your help when I was in labor for 17 hours? Where was your help when Luna had pneumonia at 6 months? Where was your help when I worked 3 jobs just to keep a roof over their heads?" Every word hit him like a bullet, and Caspian took it all silently. "I know I can't undo. You can't undo anything. Walk away, Caspian. That's what you do best." She stormed into the back room, leaving him at the counter with all eyes on him. But Caspian didn't give up. He followed her. The back room was tiny. Boxes of coffee supplies and schedules filled the space. Jovi stood rigid. "Get out before I call the police." "They're my children too," Caspian said. "You made that clear 4 years ago. I was protecting you from what? How do I explain my father's threats? How do I tell you that leaving was the most selfless thing I ever did, even if it hurt everyone?" "You destroyed us instead," she said, tears streaming, voice steady. "You want to know what your protection cost me? I slept in my car for 2 months. I gave birth alone in a charity hospital. I've worked every day for 4 years and still can't afford birthday presents they deserve." Each word was a dagger to his heart. "Jovi, let me. Throw money at the problem? They don't need your guilt money. They need stability. They need someone who won't disappear when life gets hard." "I won't disappear." "You already did. I love them," he whispered. "I know I don't deserve them, but I love you too, and I won't leave again." For a moment, hope flickered in her eyes, but it died quickly. Love isn't enough, Caspian. It never was. That afternoon, Caspian made a choice that would change everything. He canceled meetings, ignored calls, and drove to Magnolia Elementary School. He waited in the parking lot like a careful watcher, telling himself he just wanted to see his kids. At 3:15 p.m., school doors opened. Kids poured out. Caspian spotted them immediately. Luna's pink backpack bounced as she ran. Saul walked carefully beside her. No adult was there to pick them up. Caspian's protective instincts kicked in. 4-year-olds shouldn't walk alone, even in safe neighborhoods. He followed at a distance, telling himself he was just making sure they got home safely. Then it happened. A group of older boys blocked their path. 6 of them, 12 or 13 years old. Bullies. "Hey, look, the charity kids." Luna stepped behind her brother. Saul straightened his back and said, "We're not charity kids." "Then why do you get free lunch? Why does your mom clean toilets?" Caspian's hands clenched. He wanted to step in, but then Soul spoke and Caspian's world tilted. "My mom works hard to take care of us. She's the strongest person in the world and I'm proud of her." 4 years old, smarter than most adults, the bullies laughed. "Whatever, loser. Give us your backpacks." "No," Soul said, steady. One bully shoved him. Soul stumbled but didn't fall. Luna started crying. That's when Caspian snapped. He was out of the car and across the street before he even thought. The bullies froze. Caspian approached. Their confident faces faltered. They had somewhere else to be now. "Are you okay?" he asked, kneeling to check Soul. "I'm fine," Soul said, but tears glimmered. "They called Mom names," Luna said, peeking from behind her brother. Caspian smiled gently. "People who hurt others are usually hurting inside. Your mom is amazing, and so are you both." Luna tilted her head. "Are you the sad man from the restaurant?" "The sad man?" he asked. Yes. Yeah, I'm the sad man. Why are you sad? How do you explain adult mistakes to a child? Sometimes grown-ups make mistakes that hurt people they love, and then they spend a long time being sorry. Did you hurt our mommy? Luna asked. Yes. He hurt her very badly, Luna thought seriously. Then she reached out and patted his cheek. Mommy says when you hurt someone, you say sorry and try to fix it. Even if they don't want to listen, then you keep trying until they do. Jovi arrived 15 minutes later, running down the sidewalk in her cleaning uniform, panic on her face. Mrs. Beatrice had called her because the kids hadn't come home. She froze. Caspian sat on the curb with Luna and Sol, helping them with homework. What the hell do you think you're doing? She demanded. The kids looked up, confused. Mommy, the mean boys tried to take our backpacks, but he scared them away, Luna explained. Jovi's anger faltered. What mean boys? Caspian stood slowly. Some older kids were bothering them. I happened to be driving by. You happened to be driving by their school? She asked. Caught me. I wanted to make sure they got home safe, he said. Mommy, what's stalking? Sol asked. Jovi takes a deep breath, clearly trying to control her temper in front of the children. Luna, Sol, go inside and start your snacks. I need to talk to this man. They gather their backpacks, but Luna runs back to Caspian first. Thank you for helping us, she says solemnly, then wraps her arms around his legs in a quick hug. Caspian's eyes fill with tears as his daughter hugs him for the first time. When she lets go and runs inside, he has to clear his throat twice before he can speak. I wasn't stalking them. Then what do you call it? Being a father. The words hang between them like a challenge. You don't get to be a father just because you showed up, Jovi says quietly. You don't get to insert yourself into their lives because you finally feel guilty. This isn't about guilt. Then what is it about? It's about the fact that I've missed 4 years of their lives and I can't get those years back, but I'll be damned if I miss another day. You don't have a choice. They're my children. Our children, he corrects. And I do have choices, legal ones. The threat hangs in the air like smoke. Jovi's face goes white. You wouldn't. I don't want to, but I will if you force me to. They don't even know you. Then let me change that. She stares at him for a long moment, and he sees the exact moment she realizes he's serious, that he's not going to disappear again, that he's going to fight for this. 1 hour, she says finally. Saturday afternoon, supervised. And if you hurt them in any way, I won't. If you hurt them in any way, she continues, I will disappear again, and this time you'll never find us. She turns and walks into the building, leaving Caspian standing on the sidewalk with his heart hammering against his ribs. 1 hour. It's not enough. It's barely a beginning, but it's a start. Saturday afternoon arrives like Judgment Day. Caspian stands outside Chen's Market at exactly 2 p.m., holding gifts he's changed 3 times. A soccer ball for Sol, art supplies for Luna. Simple things that won't overwhelm them, or so he hopes. Jovi opens the door wearing jeans and a guarded expression. Behind her, 2 faces peek out curiously. 1 hour, she reminds him, 1 hour. The apartment is tiny, but clean. As cheerful drawings cover the refrigerator. 2 birthday cards sit on the counter, handmade by loving but broke grandparents. It's humble and beautiful and full of the love he walked away from. Luna and Sol watch him with the cautious curiosity of children who've learned that adults can disappear. I brought you something, he says, offering the gifts. Luna tears into the art supplies with 4-year-old enthusiasm. Sol examines the soccer ball more carefully. Do you know how to play soccer? Sol asks quietly. Do you want me to teach you? For the next hour, they play in the tiny living room. Caspian learns that Luna loves to draw horses, that Sol wants to be a scientist when he grows up, that they both protect each other fiercely and love their mother completely. He learns that they're perfect, absolutely perfect, and they're his. When the hour ends, he doesn't want to leave, but a promise is a promise. Can you come back next Saturday? Luna asks as he stands to go. Caspian looks at Jovi. She nods reluctantly. I'll be here, he promises. As he drives away, he makes another decision, one that will force Jovi's hand and change all their lives forever. He's going to tell his father about the twins, and then the real war will begin. Alastair Thorne's office sits atop Charleston's tallest building like a crown jewel. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlook the empire he built from nothing. Behind his mahogany desk, the 70-year-old patriarch studies his son with calculating eyes. You're telling me you have illegitimate children with some waitress? Caspian stands straight, shoulders squared. I'm telling you I have children with a woman I should have married 4 years ago. Should have. Alastair's laugh is cold as winter steel. You sound like a lovesick teenager, not the heir to a $12 billion empire. Maybe that's the problem. The words hang in the air like a challenge. Father and son stare at each other across decades of expectations and disappointments. You married Serafina, Alastair continues. You have obligations, contracts. The European expansion depends on that alliance. Expansion is already complete, has been for 2 years. Then there's the matter of appearances. What will the board think? The investors are partners. I don't care what they think. Reginald's eyes narrow. You should, because I'm about to tell you exactly what's going to happen. You're going to forget these children exist. You're going to focus on your marriage and your responsibilities. And that woman is going to disappear. Like hell she is. Like hell she isn't. Alastair opens his desk drawer and slides a check across the polished surface. $5 million. More than enough for her to relocate somewhere far from Charleston. Somewhere she can raise those children without embarrassing this family. Caspian stares at the check. $5 million. Enough to secure Luna and Sol's futures. College educations, comfortable lives, everything he couldn't give them before. She won't take it. Everyone has a price, son. Even proud little birds eventually learn to eat from the hand that feeds them. Jovi discovers the check on her doorstep Tuesday morning. No note, no explanation, just 7 zeros and Alastair Thorne's signature. Her hands shake as she stares at the numbers. $5 million. More money than she'll see in 10 lifetimes. Enough to quit both jobs, move somewhere warm, give Luna and Sol everything they deserve, enough to buy their silence. She finds Caspian at his office an hour later, storming past security and secretaries like a woman possessed. He looks up from his computer screen and she slams the check on his desk. What the hell is this? It's exactly what it looks like. You offered me money to disappear again. I didn't offer you anything. My father don't. Her voice cuts through his explanation like a blade. Don't you dare blame this on him. You went to him. You told him about Luna and Sol. You opened this door. Caspian stands, moving around the desk toward her. Jovi, you have to understand. I understand perfectly. You want your perfect life with your perfect wife, and we're just inconvenient reminders of your mistakes. That's not true. Then why didn't you warn me? Why didn't you tell me you were involving your father? Because he'd hoped he could handle it. Because he thought he could make his father understand. Because he'd been naive enough to believe that blood might be thicker than business. I thought I could convince him. Convince him of what? That his grandchildren deserve to exist. The word grandchildren hits like a physical blow. Luna and Sol are Alastair's blood too, his legacy. But to him, they're just liability. Mistakes to be managed. Take the money, Caspian says quietly. Jovi staggers backward like he slapped her. What did you just say? Take the money. Leave Charleston. Give them the life they deserve without their father. I'm not their father, Jovi. I'm the man who abandoned them before they were born. I'm the man who let you struggle alone for 4 years. A real father doesn't do that. Tears stream down her face, but her voice stays steady. A real father fights for his children. A real father doesn't put them in danger. What danger? That's when Caspian tells her the truth. All of it. His father's threats 4 years ago, the investigation into her family, the power Reginald holds over every aspect of Charleston society. He can destroy your mother's medical care with a phone call. Caspian says he can have you fired from both jobs by lunch. He can make sure Luna and Sol never get into decent schools, never get scholarships, never escape the cycle you're fighting so hard to break. So you want me to run? I want you to be free. She stares at him for a long moment, seeing not the man she fell in love with, but the coward who destroyed them both. You know what, Caspian? You're right. You're not their father. A father would stand up to his own family. A father would choose his children over his inheritance. A father would fight. She turns to leave, but his next words stop her cold. If you don't take the money, he'll take them from you. Her blood turns to ice. What? Custody battle. He has resources you can't imagine. Lawyers, investigators, judges who owe him favors. He'll paint you as an unfit mother. Unstable income, substandard housing, no father figure. They're happy. They're loved. Love doesn't matter in family court. Not when you're facing the Thorne legal team. The truth hits her like a tsunami. This isn't just about money. It's about power, control, the systematic destruction of everything she's built. How long do I have? Papers will be filed Friday unless you take the check. 3 days. 3 days to decide whether to run or fight a war she can't win. That night, Jovi sits on her tiny couch watching Luna and Sol sleep in their shared bedroom. They look so peaceful, so innocent, so unaware that their entire world is about to explode. She thinks about the money, $5 million. They could disappear to Oregon, maybe buy a little house with a yard. She could start her catering business, be home for dinner every night, help with homework without falling asleep over multiplication tables. They could be happy, but they'd also be running. Always looking over their shoulders, always wondering if today is the day the Thornes find them. Her phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. I have something you need to see. Meet me at the harbor. Pier 7. Come alone. Corbin, Caspian's head of security. Every instinct screams danger, but something in that message, urgency mixed with hope, makes her grab her keys. Pier 7 stretches into Charleston Harbor like a finger pointing toward freedom. Corbin waits at the end, a thick manila envelope in his hands. You shouldn't have come, she says, and you shouldn't have to make this choice. He hands her the envelope. Inside are documents, legal papers, financial records, photographs that make her blood run cold. What is this insurance? 4 years worth of evidence that Alastair Thorne uses illegal tactics to control people. Bribery, extortion, witness intimidation, everything you need to protect yourself and those kids. Why are you giving me this? Corbin stares out at the water. I've worked for that family for 15 years. I've done things that keep me awake at night, but threatening children. He shakes his head. That's where I draw the line. This could destroy the company. Destroy Caspian. Caspian made his choice when he went to his father. Now you get to make yours. Jovi clutches the envelope like a lifeline. What happens to you? I'll be fine. Got an offer from a security firm in Atlanta. Clean work, no more dirty family secrets. And if I use this, then you level the playing field. Alastair backs down or faces federal charges. Your choice. He starts to walk away, then turns back. For what it's worth, Caspian loves those kids. I've watched him these past weeks, and I've never seen him like this. But love and courage aren't the same thing. He disappears into the night, leaving Jovi alone with the weapons to fight back. Friday morning arrives like Judgment Day. Jovi sits in the office of Octavia Sharp, Charleston's most feared family attorney. The documents spread across the conference table like battle plans. This is comprehensive, Octavia says, reviewing the evidence, and damning. If even half of this is true, Alastair Thorne should be in federal prison. Is it enough? More than enough. But using it comes with consequences. The Thornes will retaliate. They'll try to destroy you personally, professionally, socially. Are you prepared for that war? Jovi thinks about Luna, asking why some kids have daddies, about Soul standing up to bullies twice his size, about 4 years of struggle and sacrifice and small victories. I've been fighting my whole life. At least this time I have weapons. Octavia smiles grimly. Then let's go to war. The confrontation happens in Alistair's office at 300 p.m. Caspian sits beside his father, looking like he's attending his own execution. Serafina is there too, perfectly coifted and utterly bored. Jovi walks in with Octavia and places the manila envelope on Alistair's desk. "What's this?" "Your retirement plan," Jovi says calmly. Alistair opens the envelope. His face goes ashen as he reviews the documents. "Where did you get this? Does it matter?" "The question is what we do now. This is extortion." "No, this is justice. You have two choices. Drop the custody suit and stay out of our lives, or I take this to the FBI, the IRS, and every major news outlet in the country. You're bluffing." Jovi took out her phone and showed Caspian a drafted email. The recipients were big newspapers like the Charleston Post and Courier, CNN, and the Washington Post. "Try me," she said. The room became very quiet. Caspian looked at Jovi, shocked and a little afraid. Serafina stared at her nails. Alistair thought carefully, like he was playing chess. Finally, he said, "You win this round." Jovi's voice was calm but strong. "But this isn't over." "It is over," she said. "If you ever threaten my children again, if you try to use your money or power to hurt them, I will destroy everything you've built. And unlike you, I have nothing to lose." She turned to leave, but stopped at the door. "Oh, and Caspian, don't bother coming to Saturday visits anymore. Luna and Saul deserve better than a father who only fights when it's convenient." The door closed behind her, heavy and final. Caspian ran after her in the parking lot. "Jovi, wait!" he shouted. She kept walking. "We are done talking," she said. "I was trying to protect you." "You were trying to protect yourself," she said, spinning around with anger in her eyes. "Your inheritance, your position, your perfect little life where everything is easy with money, that's what you cared about. That's not fair." She laughed, but it wasn't funny. "Fair? Fair is choosing your children over your father's approval. Fair is standing up to a man who has scared you your whole life. Fair is being brave enough to fight for what really matters. I did fight. I gave you the weapons to win. Corbin gave me the weapons. You gave me a check and told me to run." The truth hit him hard. She was right. When his children needed him, he had taken the easy way. "I love you," he said, desperate. "I love them." "Love isn't enough, Caspian. It never was," she said. She got in her car and drove away, leaving him in the parking lot with a broken heart. But as he watched her taillights disappear, Caspian made a decision. He was done being his father's son. Now he wanted to be the father his children needed. The man Jovi had loved long ago. The war wasn't over. It was just beginning. That night, Caspian stood in his fancy penthouse at midnight. He looked at himself in the big windows. Behind him was a world of luxury, marble floors, expensive furniture, priceless paintings, all things his father had built. But it didn't matter. He picked up his phone and called Serafina. "It's late," she said. "What do you want?" "A divorce," Caspian said. There was silence, then bitter laughter. Finally grew a spine. "About time. Lawyers will contact you Monday. You can have anything from the settlement." "I want my freedom back. That's all I've ever wanted." The line went dead. One chain broken. Now for the harder one. Sunday morning, Caspian stood outside his father's mansion. He wasn't the same man who had left the parking lot Friday night. He stood tall and strong. The boy who needed approval was gone. Now he was a father ready to fight for his children. Alistair opened the door himself, meaning he had expected him. "Come to apologize? Come to say goodbye?" Alistair asked. They walked to the study, where Thorne men had made big decisions for generations. Oil paintings of serious ancestors stared down at them. Caspian took an envelope from his jacket. "My resignation from the board, the company, and this family." Alistair didn't touch the papers. "You're bluffing. I'll have nothing. No money, no power, no position. Do you think that girl will take you back after everything you've done? The question hurt more than Alistair knew. Caspian wasn't sure either. He had broken Jovi's heart twice. He had disappointed her. He had chosen fear over courage. But love isn't about being sure, Caspian said. Maybe not. But I will spend the rest of my life proving I deserve another chance. And if she says no, I will still be the best father I can be, from whatever distance she allows. Alistair looked at him like he was a stranger. You're making a mistake that will cost you everything. I already lost everything 4 years ago when I walked away from them. I just finally realized it. Caspian put the resignation letter on his father's desk and walked to the door. If you leave now, don't come back, Alistair said. Caspian paused. I won't need to. I'm finally going home. Jovi's mother lay in her hospice bed, holding a worn Bible. Cancer had taken her strength, but not her spirit. Mama, you should rest, Jovi said. Rest is coming soon, her mother said. But I want to talk about that boy. There's nothing to talk about. There's everything to talk about. You love him. Jovi fixed her mother's pillows. Love isn't enough. Love is the only thing that's enough. Everything else is just decoration. He chose his father over us twice. Now he's choosing you. What are you going to choose? I'm choosing my children, like I always have. Honey, those babies need their daddy, and you need your heart back. Jovi's walls started to crack. What if he hurts us again? What if he doesn't? What if he's finally the man you always knew he could be? Before she could answer, Luna and Saul burst in full of Sunday energy. Grandma, look what we made, Luna shouted, holding a drawing. It was stick figures under a rainbow. That's you, Daddy, Mommy, and us, Saul explained proudly. Jovi's heart stopped. Daddy, the sad man from the restaurant. He's our daddy, right? Her mother smiled. Sometimes children see things clearer than grown-ups. Monday brought shocking news. The newspapers said Thorn Heir gives up fortune for love. The story went everywhere. Social media exploded with scandal. Society ladies gasped over tea. Reporters guessed who would run the company next. But Caspian didn't care. He was too busy looking for an apartment. He saw a small, cozy 2-bedroom in downtown Charleston. Hardwood floors, windows that opened, a kitchen small enough to reach everything. It's perfect, the realtor said. 3 blocks from the kids' school, Caspian said. Perfect. For the first time, Caspian signed a lease with money he had earned, not inherited. It felt amazing. Tuesday evening, Jovi was helping the twins with homework when there was a knock at the door. She opened it. Caspian was there, wearing jeans, a first for him. I brought you something, he said. If it's another check, it's not, she said. He handed her a manila envelope. It was a trust fund for Luna and Sol's college. Separate from him and his family. They could use it when they turned 18, whether she forgave him or not. Jovi stared. Why? Because they're my children. I want them to have choices I never had. What do you want from me? She asked. Nothing you're not ready to give. But I want you to know I left my father, the company, and everything, so I could be the man my children deserve. Luna tugged Jovi's shirt. Mommy, is that our daddy? Jovi looked at her daughter, then at Caspian. Yes, baby, that's your daddy. Luna ran to Caspian and hugged him. He picked her up with tears in his eyes. Are you going to live with us now? She asked. Caspian looked at Jovi. She wasn't ready yet. Maybe this weekend, he said. Saul asked, Are you going to leave again? No, buddy, I'm never leaving again. Even if Mommy doesn't want to be my friend, I'll always be your daddy. Then I'll be smart and scared like you, Saul said, nodding. 3 weeks passed carefully. Caspian kept all his promises. He took the kids to parks, movies, and ice cream. He didn't pressure Jovi. He worked at a small investment firm, helping regular families, not billion-dollar companies. He slept better at night. Jovi watched him change. She watched him laugh at Luna's jokes and teach Saul to throw a football. She noticed how he looked at her like she was the most beautiful thing in the world. One rainy Thursday, Luna fell off the monkey bars at school. Both parents got the call at the same time. They rushed to the hospital from opposite sides of the city. "Where is she?" Caspian asked the nurse. "Room 3. She's asking for both her parents." Luna was on the table with a cast on her wrist, grinning. "Daddy, Mommy, look what I got." Jovi kissed her cheek. "You're the bravest girl in the world." "Can you both sign my cast?" Luna asked. They looked at each other and something changed. The wall between them started to fall. "Of course, sweetheart," they said together. Luna fell asleep between them. Caspian reached for Jovi's hand. "Thank you," he whispered. "For what?" "For letting me be here. For letting me be their father." "I know I don't deserve forgiveness," Caspian said. "I broke your heart. I disappointed you. But I love you. I love them. I want to spend my life making up for lost time." Jovi looked at Luna sleeping. Her heart softened. "I'm scared," she whispered. "So am I. What if you change your mind? We'll work through it together. All of us as a family." She looked at him and finally saw the man he had become. The man who chose love over money, family over power, courage over comfort. "I love you too," she whispered. "I never stopped loving you." He leaned over Luna while she was sleeping and gave her a soft, gentle kiss. It was full of hope, love, and second chances. When they pulled apart, Luna's eyes were open, watching them with a big smile. "Are you going to get married now?" she asked. They both laughed through their happy tears. "Maybe, baby, maybe. Can I be the flower girl?" "You can be anything you want to be," they told her. For the first time in 4 years, Jovi felt like this was real. 6 months later, they were standing on the pier where Caspian once broke her heart. But tonight, it felt different. Tonight was for new memories. Luna and Sol ran ahead, chasing fireflies under the warm summer sky. Jovi and Caspian walked hand in hand, their wedding rings shining in the light from the harbor. "Do you ever regret it?" she asked, giving up everything. Caspian stopped and pulled her close. Behind them, the Charleston skyline sparkled like tiny diamonds. Ahead, the laughter of their children floated on the ocean breeze. "I didn't give up everything," he said, spinning her around until she laughed. "I found everything." He was right. This was everything. This moment, this family, this love that never died even when it seemed like it should. Luna ran back to them, holding both their hands. "Come on." Sol found a really cool shell. They let their daughter pull them toward their son, toward their future, toward the life they were always meant to live. Some love stories end with a kiss. This one started with a promise that family isn't about money, blood, or titles. It's about staying when it's hard. It's about fighting for what matters, even when you're scared. And sometimes, if you're very lucky and very brave, you get a second chance to love the right way. And Caspian Thorn Valor wasn't wasting it. 1 year later, Luna ran through Charleston's streets in her flower girl dress, petals scattering behind her like confetti. The wedding was small and cozy, with just family and a few friends who truly mattered. Jovi's mother sat in the front row, even though the doctors said she might not be able to come. Cancer was winning battles, but love gave her this one. She held a tissue as her daughter walked down the aisle, shining in a simple white silk dress. Caspian stood at the altar, and for once in his life, he was exactly where he belonged. This wasn't the fairy tale Charleston society expected. There were no huge cathedrals that have no fancy gowns and no guest list full of powerful people. Just two people who learned that real love isn't about being perfect. It's about choosing each other every day. The party happened in Jovi's new catering kitchen. She had opened Sweet Magnolia 6 months ago, with a trust fund Caspian had set aside for the children's future. They wanted the money to help the whole family build something beautiful. The kitchen buzzed with warmth and laughter. Mrs. Chen brought her homemade spring rolls. Corbin flew in from Atlanta with his new girlfriend. Even Serafina came, genuinely happy now that she could love who she wanted. But the most important guest couldn't make it. Alistair Thorne sat alone in his mansion, surrounded by portraits of ancestors who built their empire on other people's work. The federal investigation Jovi triggered was still ongoing. His lawyers said he wouldn't go to prison, but his reputation was ruined. He chose power over family. Now he had neither. Some victories taste bitter, even when they are needed. Speech, speech, someone called from the crowd. Caspian took Jovi's hand and stood, his voice carried across the celebration. 4 years ago, I made the worst mistake of my life. I walked away from the woman I loved because I thought protecting her meant leaving her. I thought love could wait until the timing was perfect. He looked down at Luna and Sol sitting at the head table, chocolate cake on their faces and matching grins. My children taught me that love doesn't wait. It makes perfect moments in imperfect times. His voice shook a little. Jovi taught me that courage isn't not being scared. It's loving someone so much that you'd rather be scared with them than safe without them. He turned to his wife. Wife. The words still made his heart race. You saved me from a life I thought I wanted but didn't need. Thank you for giving me our family. Thank you for teaching me what it means to come home. The applause was loud, but Caspian only heard Jovi whisper, "Thank you for finally being brave enough to fight for us." Later, as the last guests left, Caspian stood on the kitchen's back deck, the string lights casting a golden glow. Corbin joined him, holding a beer. "Any regrets?" Corbin asked. Caspian thought for a moment. A year ago, he was a billionaire. Now he drove a used Honda and shared the mortgage on a modest house. His name was a cautionary tale in the newspapers. Through the window, he watched Jovi help Luna out of her flower girl dress, while Sol practiced his wedding dance in socks. His family, not money, not power. Family. Your father might come around eventually, Corbin said. Maybe, but I'm not waiting for his approval anymore. Corbin nodded. They stood quietly, watching fireflies dance above the garden Jovi had planted. 6 months ago, it was just dirt. Now it bloomed with flowers, herbs, and vegetables, like their marriage, like their family, like their life, built one choice at a time. 2 years passed in a blur of school plays, meetings, bedtime stories, and board presentations. Jovi's catering company thrived, focusing on small celebrations where love mattered more than luxury. Caspian started his own investment firm, helping families secure their futures instead of making big corporations richer. He made less money, but slept peacefully. The twins started kindergarten. Luna wanted to be a chef like her mom. Sol wanted to build rockets. In their house, dreams were nurtured, not controlled. One Thursday, Caspian got a call from a number he hadn't seen in 2 years. It was his dad, Alistair. "I'd like to meet my grandchildren," he said, his voice smaller and older. Caspian wanted to say no. He wanted to protect his family. But he remembered what Jovi taught him about forgiveness. "I'll talk to Jovi, but if you hurt them, I won't. I promise." Promises from Alistair used to be weapons. This one sounded like surrender. They met at Magnolia Park, a safe place full of laughter and life. Alistair watched Luna chase butterflies while Sol explained swing physics to anyone who would listen. "They are remarkable," he told Jovi. "They get it from you," she said, "from the love you've given them." It was the closest she would get to an apology, but it was enough to start healing. Luna approached the bench, looking at him with curious eyes. "Are you our grandpa?" "I'd like to be," he said carefully. "Do you know any good stories?" And just like that, with a 4-year-old's forgiveness, healing began. Not perfect, but real. 5 years after that terrible night at the restaurant, Jovi watched Caspian help Sol with homework while Luna practiced piano. It was loud, chaotic, and perfectly imperfect. Everything she had ever dreamed of. "Do you remember?" Caspian asked, coming up behind her with coffee. "When you said love wasn't enough?" "I was wrong," he said. "No, you were right. Love isn't enough alone, but love plus courage, love plus commitment, love plus fighting for what matters. That's everything." He wrapped his arms around her. Through the window, Charleston Harbor sparkled, the same harbor where he once broke her heart and then fixed it. Some stories end with happily ever after. This one ends with happily ever working at it. Because real love isn't a place, it's a choice. Every day, every morning, Caspian wakes up and chooses love. Jovi chooses trust. Luna and Sol see their parents dance while pancakes burn on the stove, and they learn what forever really looks like. It's coming home. Every single day. The lesson? Second chances aren't given, they're earned. True love isn't just butterflies. It's showing up when things are hard. The greatest gift isn't money or power, it's being truly loved anyway. Family isn't just blood or papers. It's the people who stay when it's hard, who fight for you, who see your worst and love your best. Caspian had to lose everything to know what mattered. Jovi had to risk everything to get the love she deserved. Together, they built a life worth living. And that's what real love stories are about. Ordinary people making extraordinary choices, choosing to be brave, to forgive, to believe broken things can become beautiful again. Caspian and Jovi remind us it's never too late to be the person your loved ones need, to choose courage, family, and love over fear, fortune, and comfort. The question is, what choice will you make today? Someone out there might be counting $30 and wondering if dreams come true. Someone might be walking away from love because fear feels safer than hope. Maybe it's you. Remember Luna's simple wisdom. When you hurt someone you love, say sorry and try to fix it. Keep trying until they believe you've changed. And sometimes, if you're lucky and brave, you get a chance to write a new ending. A happy ending where love wins, not because it's easy, but because it's worth fighting for. After Caspian and Jovi's journey from heartbreak to healing, ask yourself, can people really change? Have you had to choose between what's expected and what your heart knows is right? Share your thoughts. Your story could help someone choose love over fear. And if this story made you believe in second chances, share it with someone who needs hope. Broken hearts can heal stronger than ever. That's what stories like this are about. Not just fun, but hope. Hope that no matter how far we fall or how badly we mess up, love can bring us home. Thank you for following Caspian and Jovi's journey. Thank you for believing in real love stories that hurt and heal. Until next time, keep choosing love. Keep fighting for what matters. The best love stories aren't ones that never break. They're the ones that break beautifully and rebuild stronger.